It's IRC Rally time again. As we get to midsummer, mid-season, we head to the San Marino Rally, which celebrates its 40th running. San Marino is a tiny mountaintop principality surrounded by the rest of Italy. 2 days of events and just under 200 kilometers of competitive stages. 5 on Friday, 8 on Saturday. San Marino is just over 61 square kilometers, most of it pretty vertical. Estimated population around 30,000. It is the smallest country in the Council of Europe. It's also one of the wealthiest countries in the world, considered to have a highly stable economy, with one of the lowest employment rates in Italy. And the stages around it held in the flat lands below in the Reggiano. You can see all the way across from the top of the Principality. Well, after Ypres, the last event, which was, of course, like the others before it, all tarmac, Anders Mikkelsen is our series leader. And our run of different winners was broken at 4. Now Jan Kopecky has 2 wins. Juho Hannunen, winning last time out, has 2 wins as well. Skoda lead the manufacturers' standings from Peugeot, and M Sport and Renault in a close battle behind them. The shakedown was held just a little distance away from San Marino itself in beautiful Italian summer conditions. If I tell you that Rimini and Misano Cattolica are just up the road, you'll know we are in the heart of Italian mid-country, gorgeous summertime. And joining the championship again, Giandomenico Basso. He'll be driving a 1.6 turbo Fiesta. He said, compare stages here to another rally. I think it's a bit like Rally of Finland. Gravel's quite rough. It's going to be difficult in the first loop. To be first on the road like I am will be very tough. He's not wrong. Anders Mikkelsen won this event last year, and he'll be glad to get back onto some gravel, yet to win a tarmac rally. He was fastest on the gravel at the Azores at the beginning of the season, and he sees the main rival as being Basso in that turbo Ford.
I think a turbo car on this type of stage, where it's quite narrow and you need a lot of torque, so I think his car will be very, very fast. But we will do our best. Okay, he's first on the road. Maybe he has a little bit of cleaning, so maybe we have a better start position, but okay, I think it adds, the sum is more or less the same, I think.
Roberto Scandola driving a Super 2000 Fabia from Skoda Italia. He's happy with his starting position. He'll be 4th on the road.
It's better because there are more gravel on the road, on the stage, and I prefer 4th and not 1st.
You fight for the podium?
I hope. I hope.
Well, another Fiesta, this time with a 2-litre normally aspirated engine, not the 1.6 turbo. This is Swede Patrick Flodin. He was impressive with good stage times in Ypres, but gravel is his favourite surface.
It looks like it will be slippery, and it's kind of loose gravel on the top, and under it can be, we're gonna go on the stages maybe 2-3 times, and it will be rough in the end, I think. So if I found the setup is fine, then I will try to go on podium.
His car run by Peter Solberg. Germain Bonfils, 25-year-old Frenchman, won the Volant Peugeot last year, and he's supported here by Peugeot Sport, tackling his first ever international rally. The competition level in IRC is very high. Our goal for the weekend is to try and show our pace, but maybe not at the beginning. We'll see how it goes, then step by step try and pick the rhythm up, maybe at the end of the rally compare our results with the top guys and see how we're doing. Well, favourites in the Production Cup will be the Japanese Toshiarai and his Finnish teammate Jarkko Nikara, both at the wheels of Subaru R4s run by Tommi Mäkinen Racing. They'll be running on Yokohama tyres. As you can see, clear, bright, sunny weather. There's lots of glare on the stages. Well, 5 stages run on the first day, day 1 of the 2-day San Marino Rally, more than 93 kilometres. Stage 1 and 3 is the same, 2 and 4 is also a repeat. Stage 5, it's the only tarmac one, and it is a sprint up the mountain to finish in the heart of San Marino. Temperatures expect to be very high. Weather could be variable, though. Well, starting Thursday evening, ceremonial departure at 7 in the evening in the Piazzola di Stradoni in the heart of the ancient city. San Marino is an absolutely beautiful place. So on to Friday morning then, first stage kicking off 10:55, getting the 40th Rally San Marino underway. This is one of the most popular stages among rally fans. Starts off slow. Uphill, downhill, lots of hairpins in the middle, and a very fast finish. It is real World Rally Championship territory. Well, Giandomenico Basso hasn't rallied on gravel for 2 years, has never driven a Fiesta on gravel before the shakedown. This 1.6 turbo car is going to take some learning. And there was an awful lot more loose gravel on the stages. He was first on the road than really anybody was expecting. He had 2 minor spins, no major damage. But in this series, even half a second lost with a mistake could come back to haunt you. He chose medium tyre compound. As you can see, lots and lots of dust in the air as well. Magnus Mikkelsen, the Norwegian, last year's winner in his familiar Super 2000 Skoda. And again, second on the road, he found that the gravel, the loose gravel on the top, to be an awful lot more than they were expecting. Well, while Giandomenico chose the medium Michelin, he went for the hard compound, which didn't seem to be working first run through the stage. Giandomenico, 16-minute 14 time. He set a 16-minute 06. But afterwards declared it to be one of the most difficult gravel stages he had ever encountered. And you can see, this is the middle section, some of the reason why. Well, Germany's Sepp Wiegand hoping for a little bit more luck here in San Marino. It's only his 3rd gravel rally. German really still learning the business. He went with the soft Michelin compound, which seemed to work very well in the loose gravel. And he broke the 16-minute barrier, 15:58.6 first stage time, so taking 7.5 seconds out of Magnus Mikkelsen and 16 out of Giandomenico Basso. He ended up with the fastest time, and that then is his first ever IRC stage win. Umberto Scandola in the Skoda Italia Fabia, starting 4th on the road. It does seem that the earlier drivers had done a little bit to clear away the gravel, so the grip levels picked up. He was second quickest, 2.5 seconds behind Sepp Wiegand, which again underlines how well the young German went. Umberto, though, may be in for a bit of a long rally. They had a problem with the engine, water in the fuel system. Patrick Flodin arrived 4 minutes late at the start of stage 1, meaning he started the rally with a 40-second penalty. Instead of starting 5th on the stage, then he would end up in 7th behind Boniface and Salo. Shimon Boniface in the Peugeot 207, 5th on the road. And he had problems with his fuel system as well. In the Peugeot, though, it was a fuel pressure problem that brought him to a halt in the middle of the stage. Well, he was blocking the road by that stage, so as Patrick Flodin came around, he also found that Juha Salo had got stuck, the car that was in front of him. In fact, Boniface's problems started with that half spin, and then the engine would not fire up again. Well, because of the delays, Flodin ended in the dust with an overheating engine at the end of the stage. As you can see, impossible to see anything, even at crawling speed with two cars in front of you. On board with Jonas Puskara, the Hungarian, 8th on the road. Now, he wasn't hindered by Boniface, and he was running flat out. Bit of a miscue on that junction. Ended up 5th fastest behind Wiegand, Scandala, Mikkelsen and Basso. So good start to the day for him. But because of Boniface blocking the stage, it was neutralised, and pretty much everybody got a notional time based on that of Gian Domenico Basso. So from 4th on down, everybody getting a 16-minute 14.7 stage time. But that was the end of the rally for Patrick Flodin. End of stage 1. He got out, but on the road section to stage 2, he had to park the Ford. Overheating due to a water leak. He could have done with a cold, wet, miserable day. It was scorching, I'm afraid, in central Italy, and that put him out of the rally. 1 stage down, 4 to go. Day 1 of the 40th Rally San Marino. Don't go away. Day 1 of the IRC Rally Stage 2. This is the San Marino Rally in hot central Italy. Well, stage 2, the longest of the rally. Again, very evocative of former World Rally events. Mercatello was one of the stages used on the San Remo in the 80s, so it is steeped in Group B rally folklore. That'll be rally stage 2 and 4 on the San Marino. Gian Domenico Basso, first man on the road, finding it tricky, still very hot, very dusty, and afraid to push too hard because he's still not really completely au fait with his turbo Ford Fiesta on gravel. Very little mileage under his wheels, and opening the road means that there's even more loose gravel around to catch out the unwary. A couple more minor mistakes, no damage to the front of the Focus, but 20 minutes and 25.3 seconds. Andreas Mikkelsen in the Skoda. Again, his hard Michelin tyre choice doesn't seem to have helped him. No confidence, and as you can see from the helicopter shots, the car fairly wayward. 20 minutes, 28.3 seconds, 3 seconds given away to Basso. 5.6 seconds ahead of Gian Domenico, still after the stage. Sepp Wiegand, who won the opening test, his first in the IRC Rally on the soft Michelin, now had the tyre given up a little by the end of the long stage. He had a couple of moments as well. One of them did actually involve the scenery as well.
20.
And the loose gravel got away with that just. 6.2 seconds slower than Gian Domenico Basso, but retained the lead, 4.3 seconds ahead of Mikkelsen, 9.9 over Basso. And Scandala still with that problem with water in the fuel. Didn't seem to be hindering him overly, just 4 seconds slower than Andreas Mikkelsen on 24 kilometres, so he was not hanging around. And if there was a misfire, it wasn't exactly what you'd call chronic. Second overall, Mikkelsen now only 1 second behind him. Here is the Finn in the Ford Fiesta. Not Mika, but Juha Salo. 5th fastest despite picking up a puncture in the middle of the stage, so there must have been some epic tyre change speed going on there. 5th quickest, 5th overall, 24.8 seconds behind leader Wiegand. Again, you can see why catching somebody on these stages is not a good thing. In the Production Cup, this is Jarkko Nekara, another Finn. He started 11th on the road. Decent, clean conditions, but again, you can see how much dust they're kicking up. He was 6th quickest through the stage, moving into 6th position overall and leading the Production Cup. So, battling with fellow Finn Juha Salo for 5th spot, just 4.2 seconds behind. But he said at the end of the stage, unbelievably slippery, really tough for the tyres, which are cooking. Toshi Arai, 8th quickest through the stage. He lies just behind Jaakko Nakara in the other Subaru in 7th place, second in Production Cup, 23.7 seconds behind. And the veteran suggested that very twisty stage reminded him a lot of the Rally of Cyprus.
Through finish, into 4 left, opens, tightens at -5 left.
Tell you what, looking at the onboards, I can certainly relate to that. 3.3 seconds separate Sepp Wiegand and Umlo Scandala. Anders Mikkelsen just a further second behind. Giandomenico Basso certainly not out of the frame. Well, after the first 2 tests, a chance to get into service, change what might have been right or wrong tyres, and give the cars a wash and brush up. Giandomenico, good to see him back on the IRC and looking in fine form.
Stiamo decidendo se fare una scelta un po' più dura.
Giandomenico, who started on medium, saying maybe we're talking about taking a harder compound for the next loop. It rained a bit here near the service park, but maybe there'll be no rain on the stages. Anders Mikkelsen wasn't at all happy with his Skoda on the hard Michelin tyre in the morning. So again, bit of scratching and thinking for them to be doing.
It was more loose than we expected, and because the historic cars are running first on the road, and it got cancelled for them, so it was very loose for us. And us with the hard tire, we were struggling a lot. So we lost a little bit of time.
Well, surprise leader after the morning loop was Germany's Sepp Wiegand, and the youngster seemed to be very happy with proceedings. Doubtless co-driver Timo Gottschalk equally thrilled, especially about missing that tree.
It's really unbelievable for me. I'm so happy. The first best time on my IRC career. For me, it's a big moment. Now we use the same tire. I hope it's a good choice.
Well, the choice was soft in the morning, it's soft for the afternoon. The roads are cleaned, and that should work unless it rains, maybe. Anders Mikkelsen got spies on the mobile out on the stage to give him latest information. The champion leaves service on a hard Michelin, but with a pair of soft tyres in the boot. Giandomenico also going with the hard tyre for stages 3 and 4, which are repeats of 1 and 2. So heading back into Sestino, the same as stage 1. And Giandomenico with the medium in the morning, hard in the afternoon, stage cleaner, much less loose gravel to carve through. And now you need something perhaps that'll withstand the underlying strata. He went through in 15 minutes 36 seconds, 22 seconds quicker than his first run through the stage. Some of that familiarity, some cleaner roads. Anders Mikkelsen losing time in the hairpin sections to the turbo, whose low-down torque is helping to punch him out of the slower corners a little bit better. Mikkelsen much more confident with the tyres, though. 15 minutes 40 and change, 3.8 seconds slower than Giandomenico. On board with Sepp Wiegand's soft tyres, maybe a little bit of a soft choice. The hot conditions, clean surface, seem to be working them pretty hard. He loses 12.5 seconds to Basso, and with that goes the lead that he'd held since stage 1. Indeed, he dropped to 4th place overall, 4.4 seconds behind Anders Mikkelsen, who was the new rally leader. And as for Roberto Scandala, still the same problem in the morning, water in the fuel system. There's only a certain amount you can do in service. Clearly that didn't get to the top of the list. 3rd quickest nonetheless, and that's probably why it didn't get to the top of the list, dropping to 3rd overall. So the gap's then 3.3 seconds behind the rally leader, 1.1 ahead of Wiegand in 4th. Top 4 after 3 stages, covered by 4.4. Harry Hunt going strongly again in the 2-wheel drive category. Second fastest time in a row in 2-wheel drive, leading the category in 12th place in his Citroen. Robert Consani in a Renault Clio, because as usual McGann, the N4 is not homologated for gravel rallies. Second quickest in two-wheel drive on stage 3 and 50.6 seconds behind young Master Hunt, 15th place overall. So didn't seem to be quite as happy with the Clio perhaps as with the McGann, but nothing to be done about that. So change of leadership then, Anders Mikkelsen by 1.8 from Jan Domenico Basso. Scandal up to third as Vegan drops to fourth. Juha Salo in fifth position, and a change up to, still in sixth is Jarkko Nikara, but Laurent Rouche moving up to seventh at the expense of Toshi Arai, who remains second in the production class. Well, final stages of the day, 4 and 5 yet to come. Stay with us for more from Rally San Marino. 40th Rally San Marino. We are ready for stage 4, the second run through the 24.1 kilometre Mercatello stage. Jan Domenico Basso, first man on the road in the morning, struggled on the loose gravel, and on the second run through this longest stage, he's feeling an awful lot better in the Fiesta. Now got a lot more miles under his wheels and much less slippery conditions to deal with. Cracks the 20-minute barrier, 19 minutes 56 for the 24.1 kilometres, 26 seconds faster than his first run.
We are happy, and nothing. We will see the next special stage and tomorrow morning.
Looking uncanny like Alessandro Dragazze there. Anders Mikkelsen, the Skoda Fabia driver, who won this event last year, goes just 0.6 of a second quicker to hang on to the lead, beating Basso. It's first fastest stage time for Mikkelsen, and stretches the lead out to the enormous margin of 2.4 seconds.
I can see where I lose to Basso. When it's fast, I am faster, but as soon as there's some hairpins uphill, I have no chance. But okay, we do as best as we can without pushing the limits too far.
Former leader Sepp Wiegand had a tricky time on the soft tyres that helped him to the lead of the rally on the first run through the stages in the morning. And he got away with a minor brush with the scenery on this stage first time through. Losing almost half a minute. In fourth place, 31 seconds behind Mikkelsen.
I had the feeling that I have a flat tire. I spun in a very narrow section, so I must go back for, I think, 3 times. I lost 15 seconds, maybe, I don't know. It was not so nice.
Alberto Scandala still with a little bit of water in the fuel. At least that'll help against detonation. Doing a good job though, third fastest on the stage again, just 2 seconds slower than Anders Mikkelsen. Stage third overall, just 5.3 seconds behind the rally leader, with Saturday being the meat of the stages. It doesn't look or sound much like a 6 Skoda, does it?
It's okay, but we are not 100%. Maybe we are 80-90% with the engine.
Well, Finn Juha Salo had a moment about 3 kilometres from the end of the stage. Got slightly offline, clumped a stone, picked up a puncture. Fifth overall then on that one. 1 minute 12, 1.12 seconds behind Mikkelsen. Jarkko Nikara leading the production class, battling for 5th place with Salo in the Super 2000 Fiesta. Subaru driver beat Salo by 5.1 seconds. Laurent Roche, the reigning Swiss rally champion, set a great 4th fastest stage time on stage 4, partly thanks to running 14th on the road and having some very good conditions, and maybe thanks to some very enthusiastic support from the sidelines. But it was the end of the road for Toshi Arai. Broken suspension, putting the Japanese out. He was 2nd in the Production Cup, but his rally is effectively over. Martin Kangur, the Estonian in the Honda Civic, also retired before stage 4. He won the 2-wheel drive cup on Ypres. And that was stage 4. They headed into the tarmac super special up to the top of San Marino, with Andreas Mikkelsen leading by 2.4 seconds, just 5 covering the top 3. Andreas Mikkelsen leading the event overnight after winning the super special as well. But tomorrow, day 2 with 8 stages, is going to be the busy one for all of them. You can see all the results as they come in on the IRCseries.com website. Join us tomorrow night for the roundup.